Okay, so I am Matt Miller, and I'm doing this research journal for Chris Koszlowski, and I have here a list of questions written by Matt Miller for me to ask of our guest here today, Matt Miller. So here he is. Yes, thank you, Matt. As Matt said, my name is Matt, and Matt has also written down a bunch of things for me to talk about, so just bear me a little bit. Mm-hmm. So, go ahead, Matt. Okay, so tell me about how this writing process went for you. Yeah, it was really hard to start at first. I liked the idea of the topic of ESL, but as far as writing a research journal about writing, especially as an undergrad, I wasn't sure about, and I didn't feel like I had the necessary expertise to find anything compelling to say. I see, I can see that. And so, pretty much everything I found went way in depth, over my head, and it just felt like anything that I could have said was already said, so I didn't really know where to go from there. Okay. So then, what did you do? Well, from there, during my conference with good Professor Chris, he's a good professor. We talked about my idea, and we went back and forth, and pretty much bounced around ideas, and eventually I settled on specifically the ESL setup at UC for as far as how UC handles the specific issues that ESL students face in English composition courses. I see. So instead of looking at just generally the issues that they face, I decided to look into the UC setup and how it handles these issues, and how, I guess, how the staff feels about it, and how the students feel about it. Right. So how did you go about this? First, I interviewed the department head of the English, of the head of the English department, and asked her what her take was on it, and just for a little bit of background on the English department. And then I talked to the head of the ESL department, who was Professor Benedetti, who was in charge of, pretty much, she was responsible for making and forming the entirety of the English composition program in the ESL department for ESL students. Oh, that's a bit of a mouthful. So through talking to her, I learned a lot about myself, and I sort of already had a passion for ESL and ESL studies. Me too, but she actually. It's really interesting. Or I guess convinced me to consider a master's here. Yeah, they'll do that. This whole process was actually a little bit life-changing for me. Really? Because I feel like I finally figured out maybe what I want to do with my life instead of stupid engineering. But it's good to hear. So it's good to know what I want to do. Definitely. And I have Professor Benedetti to thank for that. Also, I interviewed an ESL student, unfortunately only one. He went by the name of Hunter. He was from Guangzhou, China. Oh, I've been there. And I asked him about how he felt about the classes that he had taken in the English composition, or the English composition courses he had taken in the ESL department. So how did your paper turn out? Well, my paper ended up being more of an explanation of the program at UC than an analysis of I can see how that would. I think that UC is good, or comparing it to other schools and so forth. I plan on changing this, but I mostly just didn't get around to revising it at all. So yeah, you're a shitty person. Didn't. And classic Matt Miller. I feel kind of shitty about that, but I don't regret the entire process because I learned a lot about myself and what I want. That's probably true. And I'm glad that that happened, regardless of how, I guess. Okay. other than that, I guess.
Oh, did you have something else to say?
That's it?
Okay.
Do you have any other questions for me, Matt?
Yes. How do you think this will carry on to your future? Do you think? It's a tough question, but take your time.
Well, I definitely know what I want to do now, I think, and I would like to tell Matt Miller to keep loving life and to keep disregarding engineering as long as it makes him happy, and to pursue ESL and more foreign languages, and to never stop traveling and meeting people. And
I'll pass that on to him.
Just do not forget this, and to remember that you don't have to be a scholar to write a scholarly article.
That's funny.
I guess that's it. Thank
Yeah.
you, Matt, for interviewing me.
Yes, thank you, Matt, for being here.
Talking to me.
Yes,
Thank you,
very much.
Chris.
Yes, thank you, Chris.
Yes. Thanks, Chris.
Right. I guess that's it. See ya.